Hello everybody and welcome back to Outhold. I know it's been a little while. Now, the build I have in front of me is a little different to what you saw last time. This build has come from a guide I saw on the Steam forums. However, as you can see, it is a little shy of what we actually need. So we have a little bit of wiggle room to do a couple of things, being that we have 100 blue ones to spend, and about 1,000 or so of the triangles. So with like 1,000 to spend, I can oh yeah, and I probably mentioned it's gone down the fire route is what it's picked, which I don't disagree with personally. The question is, are there any? Ooh. Into the pool, but that causes a. Where's the pool one? Is that caused by something else? Because it's just fire damage right now, isn't it? Yeah. Burned crit hits against burning enemies apply extra. That would be great. Too bad it costs a little too much. Increase all burn damage. Yeah, let's do that one. Because all damage is good, and I guess accelerate tokens. I think I've got this build right anyway. I know that that number's right. I'm not sure about this one, so maybe I missed something on that one. But hardened arrows. I think what I'm gonna do. Ooh. Reduce the tick rate by 15. Interesting. Let's do that one. Let's increase that one and say we've got a little bit to play with on the other route. I'm gonna max that one out, because if we're doing fire, I should probably max it out. That makes sense to me. I could increase the number of tokens, but I don't think it's very useful. Spawn count, that would take me over the limit anyway. Wouldn't be massively useful. What I can do is increase the damage exploited enemies take, the vulnerable enemies take. So push that up to there. And I guess we're going to have a few arrow towers. So if I do that, that could help. I might max out the fire rate a bit, and then can I get pretty close? I can get pretty close with that one. I've only got 10 left to play with, which I think means we're kind of at our limit for what we can do. Yeah, I don't think I can really push anything else. So we'll do that, because that feels like a decent point to stand on. So yeah, because I'm still all under now. And that's probably as close as I'm going to get without mucking around with something to try and get that extra 10 out. I have no idea how they want me to build. But I definitely think Frostfire is going to be good for fire damage there. Base fire rate and burn I think for now I'm going to hemorrhage on. I mean, would it be worth putting arrow in the middle for the fire rate increase? But I'm going to put an arrow tower like here. I think no, because thing is, you want fire in the middle, right? So if I put an arrow tower there, it's like an extra defense against anything that gets through. We'll put auto upgrades on, and we'll try and see if we can burn through this in quick smart time. And hopefully it won't get me killed too quickly. But we'll find out on that matter as we go through. More fire towers, please. Because that's the thing, right? I can place down loads of fire towers. That'd be the idea, I think. I mean, another one here may not be a terrible idea if I can get it there. The vulnerability damage I'm getting. There we go. Let's put another one down there. Hopefully that's going to be enough to burn us through. Hopefully they'll burn before they get there. Yep, cool. This is the one I'm slightly more worried about, because I don't know if these guys are going to do enough damage. Let's put down some arrow towers, because I can afford them. Okay, I can burn all the way through to that final wave, but I don't do enough damage to get there. So this is doable. I think my placement may be the issue. Yep, I know the token limit's active. I still think that's the best place to start with. It might be worth arguably putting the arrow tower in the middle. I might do that, get some early coverage, then try and get another fire tower down there. Let's turn that off for now, so I can get some push on that, and then we'll try and get another fire tower up down there as soon as I have the money for it. And then hopefully we should see some decent upgrades coming through. I'm going to put arrow towers down in the corners, I think. I don't know if this is going to work. This clearly did not work as well as the previous attempts at all, by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's because all of my damage is too concentrated up the front. Yeah, I think I definitely want... I'm thinking maybe 3 sets of fire. Like, make sure... Maybe arrow... here is the start. And then, like, an arrow here, maybe. And then we do fire down that middle archway. If I can get that second... that one in, yeah. And then I can start doing 3 upgrades. I say 3 upgrades, you know what I mean? And then I'll put another fire there, so we have fire down that central column. Maybe fire even... here for something that reaches around that 5. I can reach a point where I start avoiding it. It's probably going to take a little while though, because I want to get upgrades in, because I want things to be leveled. So I need 150, right? And then it's going to be... okay, there we go. And we'll put that one there. I still don't think I'm going to do enough damage though. I just don't think I'm going to get there in time. Yeah, I think that's even further away from the first attempt, right? The guide, this level in particular seems to have stumped me. Now, there is one thing else that was in the guide that I may try and see if I can find quickly, which was, if it wants to load, it told me, like, the placement of turrets. I was trying to avoid it, but I feel like I am hitting a brick wall. Ignore the... okay, it says ignore the arrow towers, they're pointless. Interesting. So what it's suggesting I do is I do fire towers in these 4 positions, and that's kind of it. Just ignore everything else. Let's not turn that on. I actually didn't mean to do that, because I want to try and get those fire towers in then, I guess. Let's do that, and then we can start auto-upgrading things. And it's got arrow towers, like, here and I think here. But it says ignore them because they're pointless, but I'm going to put them in anyway. Maybe accelerating the waves is the problem. Like, maybe I shouldn't be accelerating that final wave so the system has a chance to clear itself. But... because it might be the fact that that final boss is just spawning in a bit too quickly, and it's not getting... because it's not spawning on its own, it's not getting the fire attacks to it quickly. See, look, it's burning through there way too quickly. I think I may need to be not accelerating that final wave so much. Or maybe not accelerate that final wave, so wave 7. I still feel like this is the right place to start, so... and these 2 are definitely the right start point. So I'll make sure I don't do early wave 5, early wave 6, sure, but don't give me the early wave 7. Because that way I'm not going to run into the issue of that final wave coming in too quickly. But I don't know, because that way it's going to burn through all the early waves nice and quick up to, but it won't spawn wave 7 in, which means I'm not going to get that final boss spawning in way too early. Because I can actually focus on that one enemy by itself instead of having to deal with anything else. Because this wave has got a lot in it. To be fair, this isn't a bad set by the looks of things. I think it might just be that where it had set up was just mean that final boss was getting kind of... I need to focus fire. So maybe this will be better because I'm going to be focusing fire a bit more. But I don't know. It still doesn't feel right. It just feels... maybe... yeah, there you go. That works. So I think maybe a lot of these I'll start failing. That's a good thing to learn, I suppose, then. I did all... don't try and force through all the waves. Just keep that last wave to itself. Right, now, I did not look at any of the ones past that. Because I only wanted to look at that one. Because I just knew that one in particular I was getting stuck on. So we'll push for this one, I think. I got 12, 500, 400. Oh, and I do get a relic. Just one. I feel like lightning did really well on this one, didn't it? Especially in the ones where I was using this to farm coins. Let's do a reset then. I'm gonna... If I push down the lightning push... Okay, and I need to push down that definitely anyway. There's no argument there. And since that's such a stupidly small number, it's worth me grabbing that one at minimum. Just so that number's round, because that makes more sense to me. So what do I have? I've got 4, 3, 3, and a 1. Now, in terms of these, fire enchant. I kind of want to go for the ice one. I feel like that's a good shout for the lightning tower. Although, to be fair, saying that, wind is really good for lightning, isn't it? Just by sheer volume of fire, so maybe I should do that. Make sure it can jump, base fire rate up, yeah, and I've got 1, 2, okay, and that's out of 3, and I think that's all I can use, isn't it? Yeah, and I get 3 green ones too, right? Crit chance, that is status effect jumps, that could be useful. Damage loss per jump, yeah, sure. Crit hit, that's pushed me up quite a lot. Yeah, let's do that one. It's 400, isn't it? Yeah. God, I don't know how to do this one. We're working it out as we go along. Hold on. I'm just trying to remember if I muted my phone or not. I don't think I did. There we go. Just because I know I forget to do things like that. 1% damage for each status effect. Hitting accelerated. 10% not consumer jump. Burning. Stunned enemies. I mean, if I push the overkill one up, that gives me 100 to play with. Maximum jump range is really good. Yeah, there we go. Crit hit would be good for a self-charge. That's really good. I don't even know if this is a smart plan. But the thing is, I've still got 2 gold ones to play with, so I could technically push elsewhere if I wanted to. Like, I'm going to have arrow towers anyway, so why not unlock the double shot? I mean, even if I don't use it, like, that's just a free upgrade at that point. Base damage, I want to push ideally all the way up if I can. Okay, I've got like 1,000 or so to play with. First time you struck by lightning strike is afflicted. Stunned? Yeah, sure. Burning. If I do overkill, like, let's push the overkill damage up, I suppose. I could do that as well. If I wanted to, if I haven't got anything else to spend the green ones on, that'd probably be a good shot. I mean, great to go down there if I could, but don't know how much extra damage that really does. Stun duration increases the stun duration. Right, because these are now have a stun effect, don't they? I could just increase their base damage more, but the thing is, I got the fire rate. So increase. That's the wrong one. So if I do that up, what have I got? 3. So I've got 1 green, 1 blue, and like 800 to spend. Let's do that then. I suppose if I'm pushing this way anyway, that's too many. 25. That puts me at 400 left. Do you know what? Multi-crit. If I do that as well, I've got 1 green, 1 left, so I could push into that. I feel like might be better off doing that one, maybe? Burning enemy? Does this one have any... That has a fire one in the middle, so I could do that, because that means... That would actually kind of add up quite well. And then I've got 400 left to play with, so we've got crit damage up. That is all crit damage. I can push that up to there, but I can also just increase... Vulnerability damage is really good for dealing with, like, crit damage is great, but vulnerability damage is good too, so maybe I'll, like, split it over that and that. And we'll give this a go, because that's dead on the numbers, right? 1250, 400, 433, and 1 artifact. I don't expect this to go well immediately at the start, to be perfectly honest. I don't even have money to start with one. That's an interesting start point. Oh, dear. Okay, I need to get an early wave quickly so I can spawn that in. Get that one in. Enchant that one with wind. And I'm gonna hope I can deal with things with my ability to kill... Nope, I can't deal with anything, apparently. Okay, that may have started... Okay, right. Hold on. Let's not be stupid. I've just realized I can't... What? I meant end run. Oh, right, it goes to upgrades, not play again. I can't even start anything with enough. So I need to reduce something. If I do that, and then I can use that to increase that up to just under max, leaves me with 80 to play with. That's not, like, a lot. I could raise my max health. That leaves me with even less to play with. I don't really think that's massively useful. 15? 30, there we go. I can do that. That gets me up there. Could try that. At least then I can start with an actual tower. I do think my best start point is going to be with immediately enchanting to wind. Tend to put the lightning tower on the fire point to deal with that as well. And then if I immediately level that one up, I think if I can get another lightning tower here, that would be really good as well. But it might just be the lightning towers aren't leveled up enough to really have as much an effect as I want them to. So that may be a problem. Yeah, I think they may just be a bit too... I may not have enough ability stacked on them to be massively useful. And once again, I've accelerated all the way to the end, which gets me a lot more money, but doesn't really help. So maybe I should do that less. It could just be I'm doing this completely and utterly wrong. Jump with wind, please. Because your fire rate goes up insanely when that happens. I'm going to put the arrow tower here, and then I'm going to try and get enough to put another one here. So I can do that sort of a bit later game, and then we'll do a third tower there. Now I'm going to try and auto-upgrade, but I'm not doing the final wave. This was still a terrible, terrible mistake. Apparently. Although, if I'm really lucky, I'll get... Yeah, no. I don't think fire's the way to go. I don't think lightning's the way to go. At all. That was... I keep hitting the wrong button, man. I swear to God. Honestly, I'm half tempted to start going through the prestige builds, but I kind of want to get through all of these first. Just because if I start going through prestige mode, I'm going to get... I will start unlocking stuff, like... from the final gold tokens. I kind of want to have everything available I can by that point. I'm going to assume lightning is just about... I feel like lightning needs that stacking of all those, like, late game abilities. And these... Like, maybe arguing I should have gone for ice. Maybe ice is the better one, because ice tends to slow things down. Maybe I should stay down the fire route. Maybe that's the ideal. It's not a terrible idea, I suppose. Let's max these ones out. I can probably push burn damage up to its max as well. Increase the burn rate. Yeah, I can push burn ticks all the way up too. Okay. Burn tick is 5% deal crit. I can now afford... Oh no, I can't do that one. If I get rid of moldy crit, I can. Or if I got rid of additional arrow. I don't think that's massively useful. So if I did that, maybe. Enemies that enter a pool are afflicted with burn. Is the pool a thing that does... I'm trying to remember where the pool comes from, because I think that just means in general, which isn't massively useful at the start. I don't know if the burns damage implied to an already burning enemy. That's kind of cool. Raise burn. Fire tower's only one target. It might be worth trying to push that up, because that'll be great for the boss. There's two of them on this one, isn't there? You gotta remember, the boss splits over two, doesn't it? I can do that, and then I could push another 100 I've got. Accelerated enemies and runners. Increase burn damage from him, percent reduce tick rate. Burn spread chance I can go up. And I've got another, like, 50 to play with. Multi-critting and burning. I could do that, raise the multi-crit limit, but I don't know if I'm going to get any that high. That's the question, isn't it? If I start doing that, I can probably start doing stuff like... Okay, that's a bit too high, but I can do stuff like that, which then does that. That gives me not loads to play with. 325. Do max health, I got another 100. I've got 50 I can use. That could be useful. We could try this. I don't know if it'll work, but we could try this. If I want to put like a fire tower there with frost fire on it, I can't quite afford another fire tower there. I've got an arrow tower here and here though. And let's try and get enough money to get a second fire tower down. And another third one. We'll try to do that. I did not mean to do wave 8. I did that way too early. I still think this may have been a bit ambitious. Maybe? Maybe it wasn't. More arrow towers, please. Ooh, that only just caught that one in time, didn't it? This is going to be... see, some of them aren't even burning. That's... yeah. These ones are actually kind of difficult, aren't they? I feel like I need to look it up again. You know, I'm going to start following the guide, I think, for a little bit for this one, because this is feeling a bit tough otherwise. Okay, it does recommend going for wind over ice. It also does... all three of these are maxed out. You, I think, are down to... you're down to, like, a single damage buff, because that's all you need to get through it. You don't exist. This one is maxed out. This one is down to a single. No, that one. Then I want lightning... no, fire and slow are the options it wants. With... right, because that entire multi-crit channel is dead. Right, yeah, that makes sense. And then it wants... basically, this tree maxed... this entire lane maxed out. As far as I can tell. Right, yeah, you go down another one. You're like that. It wants this one up on here, and I think that's still settling on the normal level, but it's this one up. This one not up. That one is? I think this has got a slightly different version on it, because on this one, there is another node over here. We're interestingly enough, so this is probably from a much older... this probably must be from an older version of the game. That one is maxed out too. And then that one I think is nearly maxed out. I guess that'd be where it'd be for me. Wait, no, I can drop this one down. Oh no, I do. That one, I didn't mean to take all those away. God. I hate when that happens. I'm like, I'd forgotten where anything was. Oh no, no, that one is maxed out. And I'm maxed out on that fire one as well. That one is enabled. This one... yeah, I think these three have been slightly reordered. It looks like I've got one on there and maybe two on that one? I don't know. No, that can't be right. Yeah, maybe, no, maybe that's right. Oh, no, it isn't, because that one and that one are on. So, yeah, that can't be right. You're activated. You go through to that level, but nothing on that tree. I'm already over, though. How am I over? Something changed. Something must have changed between the versions that's not showing up differently here. That's kind of annoying. This one, that one. Oh, right, and this one needs kicking up one. brain-wise, you're the one, right? That's kicked up by 2. But I'm currently over by, like, what is that? 2? I'm under that by, like, 100. So I've got, like, 100 there to play with. Are any of these, like, 100 more? That's 200, that's 200, that's 150, that's 250, that's... I guess Pool of Decay gets shoved up another level. Maybe you're too high? That still puts me over by 22. Cool, well, I'm going to have to reduce something then. I mean, that, maybe... That one down one does help. Puts me at that weird... this is why I kind of want that one, because it's such a weird number that my brain does not like to do the math on it. At all. And it much prefers having it rounded up, because that makes my life just far easier to do the compute. And I've got 75 left to play with then. Anything that could really realistically cost that? I mean, I could start pushing arrow towers up, I suppose. If I wanted to, but I don't really know how useful it is. Where's on the left? 3 second fire on the right. Left, 2 fires. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I don't even use arrows in this one, so putting any money into them is useless. I don't know, maybe I just go with that then. I mean, I can increase the number of tokens again. I really don't know. I mean, maybe that one would be a decent, like, shout. I don't know. I don't think anything costs 25 anymore, does it? That one does. Yeah, I can do that. Make up the spare money. I have no idea how effective this is going to be, and we want a pulse tower in the middle, and fire towers all the way round. So let's go with that. You're the one that gets enchanted with wind. You become a fire tower, and you become a fire tower, and then we're going to start auto upgrading, and I boosted up all the way. I don't want that one, because I want to be able to upgrade this one earlier. I suppose this actually works quite effectively, doesn't it? Yeah, I want to get this, that pulse tower maxed out. Just so that's doing its work. More so than anything else, and then everything else can upgrade as money appears for it, right? See, the thing is, this is a really elegant solution, and it's a really simple one, too. But I would never have come up with it, because I have a penchant to sort of not go for the things that only do, like, single point damage. I prefer or damage over time. I prefer doing the things that do consistent damage. Obviously, that's doing damage because of Frostfire, yeah. I forget that the pulse towers apply Frostfire just by existing on that stage. I don't think I'm going to get an upgrade or anything, am I? No. I mean, I could arguably put down another arrow tower or something if I need to, but something tells me I'm going to be fine without it. That one's near enough dead, yeah. And that one's probably not going to... It's probably going to follow relatively quickly. Yeah, there we go. So the Steam guide is really good for this, apparently. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm just going to start following the Steam guide. Why not? Let's just do that. I think we've... do I put another one in, though? We're nearly at half hour. I think I'll stop there. For this episode. I know we only did the 2 levels, but, you know, and then we can do 6 and... To be fair, if I'm following the guide, I can probably burn through 6, 7, 8, 9, and... Well, no, we don't have to do 10, do we? It's just 6, 7, 8, 9. I might be able to burn through all of those in a go. Which would be great, because then we can do one more episode going through the last of the token limits. And then we can start getting a push on those prestige challenges, which I don't even know what they look... Obviously, besides them being defeat the final wave... I don't know what they are. But my build will be as broken as it physically can be at that point in time. Because I can start pushing more into this. And to be fair, I've got a lot more to play with than I did, because I've still got like 6 of those guys left. Yep, sure, let's do that, and that, and that, and then we can do that, and push that all the way up. I can then push that. This can now be maxed out. See, I've got loads more to play with now because of that. I still need golds to really push it much further than this, because those are my locked off points at the moment. But the moment I beat one of those prestige levels, I will probably be able to I'll be like, oh yes, coin cannon, max that tree out. I can then, like, death and taxes, whatever, max that one out, do the bank tower one, immediately go, and then I can, like, or even if I just pushed for Burning Vengeance, finish this, I can start finishing trees off as soon as I get there, you know? Because literally the only thing stopping me right now is these boys. They are just pure locks to my progress at finishing this tree. But we'll push forward. So, I maybe some of you will be disappointed I've started following guides instead of just trying to figure it out myself. But honestly, there's a couple of other, like, more of these incremental games that I want to play, and I don't want to be sat here and just have literal episodes where nothing happens, because I'm just stuck doing the same thing over and over, trying to get through one of these. Look, I could sit here and try and work out all of the actual puzzles and try and work out good builds, but I would be posting probably 2 or 3 episodes per level. And that's if I get the knack and work it out as I go along. So I think it's better for sake of the videos going up that I kind of just burn through these. But yeah, we'll end this one here. We'll pick off next time, hopefully getting through the rest of the token limit challenges, and I will see you in the next video.